All right. So, playing some prime mover here. Make sure everything looks good. This is reverse. So I had attempted a little bit of it last stream. Let's start with taking some notes. So reverse, we need to my notepad up here. So we need to read sequence from A. We need to the sequences are terminated by 0, and then we need to reverse the sequences and then send them to D. So our zero input is going to be what we use to I don't know how to say it. So we're gonna have our normal inputs follow along a track, I'm assuming, and we'll just kind of have them stuck in a position. We can look at our inputs here. So we have 5, 16, 8, which is 3 numbers followed by 0. We have 1, 2 numbers followed by 0, 1, 2 followed by 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 1, 0. So it looks like 5, and if you include the 0, we need total of six numbers, including the 0. So we need a track that's going to hold at least 5 numbers, and then I don't think the 0 is going to be held at all. So we're going to So what we can do is we can have like a locking mechanism, then like this, and we'll have a button here. And so what we can do is we can have the numbers go along this path, right? So the next input, so we'll do it like this. And all the inputs are positive, which is nice. So what we can do is we can have all of the inputs come through here. So the first input will get through. This will lock. The number is positive. It's going to hit this button, which will unlock the next input, right? And so this is just giving us a little bit of space in between inputs. You probably don't even need to do this. But what'll happen is when 0 comes through. Oh no, that doesn't work. Never mind. I think if we just do something like this, and then slow down the wire, we now have a gap here. And I think I can even go a step further and make a larger gap by having 2 back to back. Maybe not. Okay, so it looks like 1 is the max gap. But in any case, I mean, if I just want a gap, again, I can do this without the sorter here. Just do something like this. And obviously I can condense this by putting it inside a chip as well, but I can just do something like this, right? And that will create a gap as long as I want, right? So if I want a gap that's 8 spaces long, I can do that. We might not even need a gap, but this could be useful to have. So what do we need to do now? So what we need to do, we have the instructions here on the right, so I don't want to rewrite that. We need to find a way to, I guess we'll say we'll find 0. Or actually, we need to find a way to reverse the inputs. So that's the first thing. We need to find a way to reverse the inputs. And then we can use 0 to terminate the sequence. All right. So step 1 here. Step 2, 0 to terminate the sequence. All right. Oh, these are just, they don't necessarily have to be in order, but these are just things I need to do. So we need to find a way to reverse the inputs. We need to use 0 to terminate the sequence. And then we need to send the sequence to D. And then after that, again, which we'll probably use the 0 input for this, we need to allow next sequence. Right, so can I do something like this? I just realized I was, my notes should have been on another layer here. So I guess we'll undo all this. Probably a more efficient way to do this, but I am not great with this tool, paint.net. I don't really draw at all either. So we'll label this notes. And then we'll draw on this layer here. All right. Brush, pencil, I guess. Very thin. Okay. So we need to first reverse the sequence. And then we might actually need to do that thing that I said, like lock the inputs with 0 and then allow them somehow later. So maybe something like this. Right. Something like this. So all the inputs will come along here and unlock the next set of inputs. And then when we get a 0, let's slow this down. All right, and there's other ways to do this, but this is just a very simple way. Well, simple. First idea to pop in my head. I shouldn't say simple. Probably the worst way to do this. But again, I'm new, so I don't really know what I'm doing. So we're gonna lock the inputs, and then this is going to create space, which again we might not need. We might need it. Who knows? And then this will allow the next set of inputs. And then when we get a 0, this is going to be really, really slow. It's going to take, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then these are slow wires. So I think that's 20 ticks for us to do whatever calculations we need. Send it to D. And again, we can do something like this as well. We're going to need this 0 input for a lot of things, probably. So we can do something like this. And what this will do is we can use the 0 input to maybe alter the sequence, alter the direction, right? Maybe do one of these, right? And then do one of these. So we have the sequence. We'll assume it's already reversed. Or maybe the sequence isn't reversed yet. And we can send it through a path that will reverse the numbers or something, and then send that to D, right? That's what I'm thinking. That is what I'm thinking. Again, we might not use this at all, but it feels like it makes sense. So we're going to reverse the sequence. That's the first thing we do. Sequences are terminated by 0, so we need to detect 0, and we're going to use this to terminate the sequence. So detect 0, and then we'll say send to first sequence detect 0, send to D, right, in the new order. I can't remember what else I had, so so we have the sequence going in a line. We'll somehow find a way to change the direction. So maybe we'll wait to change the direction until we find the 0. So actually, this will be step 1. I can erase this, potentially. Trying to find the brush size tool. It's somewhere. Curious what's going on when I do this. Is it on here somewhere? Not be this hard to change the brush size. Is it not just this bar at the top? Oh, this is not the eraser. Ah, man. That would explain why I can't change the brush size. It's not a brush. Yep. Wow. My editor will cut that. I have an editor, it's just me. But anyways. So we'll start over here. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to have all the numbers go on a line, so I don't really need to write that as a step. First thing we're going to do is we're going to find 0. We're going to find 0. Once we've found the 0, we can then use that 0 to reverse the sequence. So find 0, and then we'll reverse the sequence. And you don't necessarily have to do it in this order. This just seems the most logical to me, right? And then I'll just put as a note on the bottom here. Okay. Sequence. Next. The worst handwriting on the planet. Max length equals 6. Sequence max length equals 6. So we're going to have the numbers travel along a path, potentially. Is that how we're going to do it? So let's just focus on reversing the sequence. How do we think we can do that? So let's just go to a new blank canvas here. If I had an input traveling along this path, the first number is going to go in here, second number is going to go in there. How would we reverse that? We had something like this. I mean, this would allow us to, at the very least, alternate the inputs. So instead of having 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 1, 3, 5, 7. Or 2, 4, 6, 8, either one. And then we can split them in half. But we just can't keep splitting them in half over and over again. So what else can we do? How would we reverse something? And again, we can just, technically we can just cheat, right? So instead of making a system that works for like a large amount of numbers, we can just say, okay, here, we'll do this. We know we have 5 inputs, 5 max numbers before the 0, right? So we can detect 0. And then again, this is not a good solution, but it is a solution. In theory, would this just work straight up? We just do this, right? So the first number needs to be the slowest. Second number needs to be the second slowest. And again, I can, if I need to make these wires longer, I can just do one of these, right? So this, I think this would straight up work. So yeah, we'll in fact, we'll do this. This needs to be the fastest. We'll go ahead and throw one of these in here. And then I can just copy this. Do this for now. So in theory, so that's 2, or we'll just do 3. So it's going to have to travel, the first number is going to have to travel 1 spot further to the right. Oh wait, this doesn't even work. This doesn't work at all, actually. Okay, so we can do something like, because the first numbers, all the numbers are just going to go on the first path. We're not. Okay, so instead, again, and this is kind of cheating, I think. I don't know. Cheating in my eyes. So we can do something like this, right? So the first number will go this way, right? And then this path will switch, right? If another number comes through, it'll switch back. But what we can do is we can just put a button here. And so once this path has switched over to the left, it will always stay to the left as long as numbers keep coming, right? And then we can just have like a 0 input, maybe switch everything back. So have a button like here, for example, and then like a deleter. So the first number will go this way, and then we can just have it wait. The second number, and again, I can use circuits to give myself more space. The second number will then go this way and leave the track here. So we have the second number go this way. And then we just keep looping it. So we have the first number stored here. We have the, and I can just literally put it right here. The second number can be stored here. The third number can be stored here. So this will, and again, we won't have more than 5 numbers after the 0. Or sorry, before the 0. So we can just do this for 5 numbers, right? And that will lock all the numbers here. And then, now that we have the numbers separated, you know, again, you do something like this. Once you have the numbers separated, then you can go along and unlock them. You can go and unlock them, and then you can choose the length of each path. But I don't know if I want a system that only works for 6 numbers. I mean, obviously, once I find an ideal solution, I can optimize it for 5 numbers. Or like whatever the, whatever the most optimal solution is. But I don't want to, this feels like not the correct solution, you know? And, spacing matters and all that stuff. But anyways, this is a way, using these is a way to separate numbers. So we have this system of a track that goes right, and then a track that will always stay left after that. So to go one direction and then always reset to another direction. And then once we have the 0 input, it would unlock all of these and then also simultaneously reset. It would reset all of these back to the original path, so it would work. So I guess we can just try this. So we'll have, first we need to detect. We need to detect a 0 input. And then we'll do all this nonsense, right? I can just copy this, go in here, do something like this. So I want the number to feed in from the right side here. And then let's actually move all of this down. I want to have as much space as possible. So if I need to go up, for example. So the first number is going to get locked here. And then, how do I want to do this? Maybe I should space them out. And then I can put the 0 inputs to feed in from the right side here. Or, whatever I want to do. So the first number is going to go in here. Second number will go to the right. Right? And then we can copy this. So this will give us 3 numbers, right? The second number is going to feed in here. And we don't even need to lock them. This is just kind of like a placeholder thing. So we have 3 numbers here. Maybe we'll put like one of these here. This will allow us to have like a 0 input come from the top, unlock everything, and then allow the numbers to go down or something like that, right? So the numbers are going to go in here. This is 1, 2, 3. And then again, we can have we can have 4 and 5 be here. Should be able to just delete this. So the first number will go here. Second number will switch this, hit the button. This will switch back because something's passed over it, but then the button is pressed by the input, so it'll always default to that side. So these should work. We can actually just test this right off the bat. All right. First input goes to the right. Input switches to the left. Second input goes to the left. Input goes back to the right, or the switch goes back to the right, but the button press. Yep. So that's the first number, second number, third number. Oh, do we have a 0? Yeah, first input only is 3s. So 3. And then we can just take the 0 input. Obviously, we're going to have it deposit to D. So we can just, there you just do that right off the bat. Something like this. Or if you want, we could just do this as well. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we don't need to even have this many chips, right? You know, in theory, I could just do this and that. This. So in theory, we can just have the 0 input go in and unlock these two. And then once these are unlocked, you can have them go down here and then be inserted, and then we can just change the length of the tracks, or change some of the wires to slow to alter the sequence order. So that should just work, right? So we need the 0 input to get here. We also need a 0 input to so we'll do something like this. This. Unlock the first input. And then we'll also put this down so I have more room. So we'll just do this. So the 0 input will come in from this side. In theory, this should work. Both sides, yeah. In theory, I should be able to just do this. And then we'll have the 0 input be deleted afterwards. So the 0 input's going to come in, unlock the next set of inputs. And again, I need to... So I need to detect... I guess I already have the 0 input here. I might as well just detect it earlier. So we'll have this. So all the inputs are going to come in here. We want the 0 input to come in here and unlock the next set of inputs. So we're going to detect if we have a 0. I don't like this orientation. So I kind of want it to be like this. With the 0 input to kind of go here, and then the plus. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, right? This works fine. So, what am I doing? What am I doing? So if it's positive, it needs to unlock the next set of inputs. We kind of decided that, right? If it's 0, we want it to delay the unlocking of this button. We'll just put it... Again, we have this system already. We can just copy this, paste it over. So number's going to come along here. If it's positive, we're going to unlock it. Let's move it down so we have a second way to unlock the system. I'll just paste it here for now. this. So we need 2 ways to unlock this button. So, or unlock this lock. Okay. So positive numbers will come through here. Positive numbers will come through here and unlock the next set of inputs. In fact, we can even do this. That way we can delete both the inputs. So we'll have our 0 input, I guess. Oh, is this kind of... I don't know where to put the deleter, but in any case, the positive inputs are going to come along, unlock the next set of inputs. It's probably like a really compact way to do this. Is it just to do it this way? Maybe do something like this. So the positive input is going to come along and unlock the next input. And then the 0 input will eventually, at some point, among other things, come this way. And then at some point get deleted as well. So we're going to take we'll probably, you know, put it here temporarily. We'll duplicate the 0 input, so it's going to unlock the next input, or the next sequence. But otherwise, this positive one will come here. Positive will come here, unlock the next input. So this will just keep going until we get a 0, in which case it's terminated as long as I want, right? I can basically just, in theory, keep doing this and slow it down as much as I want. So no issues there. I can put an infinite amount of slow wire in between here. So this should function as a way to, we found a way to terminate the sequence. So I'll just write a check here. Terminate sequence. I'll just put a check mark, right? We've done that. We found a way to terminate the sequence using 0. We found 0, right? That's good. And now we just need to reverse the sequence, which we already should have found, right? Take this method over here. That's just the terminator. We can just use these. So I'll just go ahead and copy this over. I'll just have it go out the bottom here, I guess. So I need a 0 input to come along. I need a 0 to go along to D, and then I also need a 0 input to temporarily. So the 0 is going to come along here, enter to D, and then the 0 is also going to come along and let in the next few sequences. So the first number will come along here, get locked here. And again, we don't need the locks, it's just like a temporary thing. So we found a way to reverse the sequence. I can write a check mark there. Now we just need to find a way to send sequence to D. Send sequence to D. Use my horrible note-taking abilities. So we've got the sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, hold on. So the first number is here, second number is here, third number is here, the fourth number is here, and then I don't even have to do this for the fifth number, right? Because it can only ever be here. There's no, so that's taken care of. Now I need to use this 0 input to send the sequence to D. So how do I do that? And again, I mean, let's make this even easier. Let's make this even easier. Instead of, and again, I mentioned we're gonna get rid of these. Instead of, let me change my stream title to, hold on. It's day 3. Day 2. Anyways. All right. So, again, we can just use slow wire. And we mentioned I can put as much slow as I want. We can use slow wire to send these numbers. I'm foreseeing a problem. So obviously I need a way to reset this, and I don't have that because these are too close together. So I want to explore something else here. So if I have the first number come here, it'll have the second number go there. Okay. I'm on to nothing. Oh man. Okay, so do something like that. Seems to have a deleter here. So our 0 input is going to feed into here, unlock this, or reset this. So the number is inserted here. It's inserted here. And then we can go on to the next track. So again, these are just placeholders, but now I can feed in the 0 input this way. It'll unlock this and then get deleted. And again, I can just put duplicators. So like if this is the second input, obviously I need to delete this, but I also need to go unlock the first input. And by unlock, I just mean like reset the track. So I already have these saved here, so I can actually I can delete these, no problem. So let's go ahead and do that. I can just kind of copy this system that I have here. Paste it into here. So first number gets locked, then this resets, and now I have space to allow in the 0 input to reset the system. So now I have 2 numbers stored here. Where did I put this? So let me copy this. Alright, first let me just delete all of this. Let's just see if this works. First number's here. Second number gets through. Perfect. So we got 2 numbers here. We have 2 numbers here. Alright, so the system works. So now we have each number separated. Each number is separated, and I have space to allow the 0 input to reset the system. So that's good. Now, I wouldn't have to do any of this if after the 0 there was already a reset. The reset's after... Is there even a reset? Yeah, the reset's after several sequences, so... I need to allow... so those resets will change everything back to how it was originally. So if those were after every sequence, I wouldn't have to worry at all about allowing the 0 input in. Okay, so we got that there. Each of these contains 2 numbers, so I need, in theory, 3 of these, right? I think. And I'll just paste here for now, I guess. And so we have this system in place to... This system in place as a gate to slow down the sequences. So we'll just copy that over. Move these out of the way. That last piece. So now we can select these and put these here. So I have 2 numbers here, 2 numbers here, and then I just need 1 number here. I can actually go ahead and delete all of this. This is kind of tight. This is kind of tight. I don't have a whole lot of space to work with here. I mean, I guess in theory, I could just put these all inside one chip. I hate doing that, but... Whatever. Again, we're just trying to find a solution. We don't have to find the perfect solution. So the 0 input's going to come along here, and then allow in the next set of inputs. And I'll probably just need to do this. And this is just temporary. So all the inputs should come along this path, unlock the next set of inputs, and then be inserted in here, in which case they are... In which case... where they are stored to then be sorted. And then I need a 0 input to come along and unlock these. And again, I guess we can just get rid of the unlocking entirely. No, I mean, let's keep the... I don't know. But the 0 input's going to come along and reset the track after the sequence is sorted. I need my 0 input to run along here. Zero input's going to come along here, and then it's also going to... I guess I can have all exit left. So 0 is going to come along this way and unlock the next set of the next sequence. This 0 is going to get deposited into D and then also allow the next. So this is now effectively, these are in reverse order. So the first or the last number is here, second last number to here is here. On the left side of that, the third to last number is here, etc. So these are already in perfect sequence order, so I can just let them out in order. So in theory, I could just do 2 buttons, right? And then let them... so I guess... So this first number can come out the right side, no problem. But the second number and the third number, they both come out the bottom. This might be tough. This. Okay, should I just do one of these per system then? One of these per chip? So instead of having 2 of these, I could have only 1, and then I'll have to put more chips inside of chips, but it is what it is. Okay. Okay, I have another idea. So the first number, if it comes along this way, first number will come this way, and then hit this one. So the first and the third numbers will then hit this, right? And again, we have no more than 5 numbers. But this won't sort them, though. I guess if the 0... Okay, so here's what I'm thinking, right? I can split up the first 2 numbers this way. So the first number and the third number will go here. All the odd numbers will come to the right or down. All the even numbers will go up or to the left path. If this is the opening of the V is the front. Right, which it is, because that's where the input is coming from. So it's traveling on this direction, and it will either take a right turn or a left turn. So all the odd numbers are coming here. And now we have 1 and 3 coming here. So the first number obviously will go to the right. The third number, and then I obviously can make more space. The third number will go here. All right. So let's not worry about the even numbers for now. So the first number goes to the right, again, makes 2 rights. The third number will make a right and then a left. And then the fifth number will make 2 rights. So all the odd numbers go this way. 1 and 5 will both make this right. And then 1 will make another right. 5 will make another left. And then we just, we can sort the zeros here. So 0 inputs will come and reset the whole system, I guess, somehow. We know how to do that. It's not rocket science. Oh, but it might change depending on length of the sequence. So if every sequence is the same length, I think this system would work fine. So basically, this would just be a way to sort them. And then I can just use like slow wire or, length of wire to make different paths longer. But because every sequence is a different length, I don't know if that system will work. I'm struggling here. I am struggling here. So the numbers, the problem is I need a way to let all of the outputs out. So they're already sorted right to left, right? The first number is the closest to D. The first number that needs to go into D is closest to D. And the last number, which was originally the beginning of the sequence, is on the left here. So I can use a 0 to reset these numbers. How does the 0 get in? I can have it come in from the top. So the numbers are proceeding left to right. So I need the left and the right side of these. What I have to work with is the top and the bottom. So if I have the numbers exit out of the bottom, I can potentially use the top for the 0 to get in. So let's not look at this one because this one is easier to work with because there's way more space. Let's look at these. So I want the 0. Do I want the 0 to come in the bottom? And then I also need a 0 to... Oh, wait, no. I already have a 0 unlocking the next set of inputs, so that's fine. I don't have to worry about that. All I have to do is get these numbers to D. That's all I have to do. All I have to do is get the numbers to D and then also find a way to 0 to come in to reset these systems. So, how do I do that? I think it's easier to just have the 0 or the numbers come out the bottom here, I think. That's what I will do. Something like this. So all the numbers are going to come out the bottom, and I'll do slow wire so that this first wire. So let's try this. Let's see what happens here. So the first number is now inside here. Obviously that's not enough slow wire, so again, you can just do something like this. It's gonna come out the top, go out the right. First number comes in, and then second number is first. Sweet. And then this is too slow. I want them to be pretty close to each other, right? Okay, that's too fast. And there's probably a more mathematical way to find the optimal length. I could count. Oh, that was perfect. Okay, sweet. So now I have my inputs in order coming out of the bottom here. So I'm going to have two inputs coming out of this track. And then if I do the same thing here, do the same thing here. So I'm going to have the 0 input come in here, reset these systems. This should work. Right. Got the numbers coming out the bottom. The numbers should be there. Obviously there's another one behind it. Next set of inputs come through. That is slow. Wait, what? Why did it say 0? Oh, a second 0 came through. I was like, what do you mean 0 is wrong? 0 is obviously the first input, but it tried to put multiple zeros. So again, that might be an indicator that I need to do, you know, one of these. Again, this is not an optimal solution. This is terrible actually. Oh man. It's a tough game. It's a tough game. So inputs are going to come along here, and then let's just try and finish this. So I need the 0 input if I want to have the answers come out of the bottom here. Or I guess I'll just do this, no? So the answers, the sequence in order, are going to come out this way. Out the right side of this top circuit board. So I'll have the 0 input come along the bottom here. I mean, it doesn't matter, but I think it might be slightly easier to cross over now and have it come out the top, then have these come out the bottom here. So the 0 is going to cross over here and come in through the top here. And then I already have the 0 coming in this way. I just need to connect the 0. So the 0 comes in the top here, and this system should reset. The 0 will come in the top here. Reset the system. Perfect. And then I don't even need the 0 to come in this side, because there's only ever going to be a maximum of one number in here in the first place. See what I'm saying? So we don't need to sort anything, so I don't even need one of these at all. In fact, I don't even need this circuit. Right? So the first 4 numbers are going to be sorted. The 5th and final number in the sequence is just going to shoot out the right side here. So the first 2 numbers are going to come along this way. The next 2 numbers along this way, and the final number is going to come along this way. So let's just see. Let's see what this does. Yeah, this is probably the ugliest solution to this problem. But hey, if I post this to YouTube, if or anyone's watching, you have a better solution, let me know. Right, so these are coming out the bottom, but they're coming out way too quick. I didn't even connect these. The 0 is also coming way too quick. So instead of making the whole system faster, I'm going to make the 0 and this path even slower. So again, we'll just get some slow wire and some more slow wire. All right. Second input, third input. 0's coming along now. Need that 8 to come out first. 8, 16 followed by 5. So this 0 is coming along to reset the system. I do have 16. I have 5. I just need the 8 to come through. 8 is on its way. (16) and 5 still came in way too fast. Zero's coming in to reset the system. And I'll need to do the same thing. These 2. Then I'll need to slow this down too for the 5th number to get through, I imagine. So the first 2 numbers will get through here. 3 and 4 will get through here, and then the 5th one should come through here. So let's try that. That did not work. Let's figure out why. We probably know why. It's too slow for 5 to get through. 0 is the first number. We need 8, and then 16, and then 5. I also forgot to just connect these, and they're still getting through before the 8s. Whatever. I'll just do it manually. $16, $5. I need my 8 to come through. 16, $5 are too fast. Still. Okay. Let's see. Is 8 fast enough? I got a 0 before I got 16 and 5. So we'll go ahead and copy this, paste it here. We got our 8. We got 16. We got 5. But I don't think it's going to be enough for the... I don't think it's going to be enough for the 5 number sequences, so add a little bit of slow wire to the 0. 16 and 5 come through. Nope, still having issues. We got a 0. Alright, let's go step by step here. Try not to go too fast. 16 and 5. We need a 0 next. We got 16, 3. Got our 0. We got 16 before we got 3. Where's 3? Three's here, it's just slow. 3's all the way back here when 16 is going through. What number is 16 here? 16 is the first number. This first part is still too fast. That's crazy. Actually, let's just do this. Do I have to do 3? Okay. There's no way that's not slow enough. We got 8. I need a 16 and a 5. Still getting 16 when we need to get 3. How? Is everything getting reset? Yep, 0 came in and reset everything. What the? Did it? Is that a bug? Did I reset that one? Oh, I'm duplicating for no reason. Oh my gosh, that's what happened. Okay. That's that problem solved. Alright, I think we did it. Oh, 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 oh. Let's not go too fast now. Need 16 followed by a 5. So we have our 0 going in to allow the next set sequence. We have a number here. We got our 5 and our 16 in the wrong order. Ooh, in the wrong order. So how did that happen? Let's find out. Okay. I'm still too fast? Wow, okay. Five and 16 are both here. Okay, sorry. Let me use my brain for a second. 5 is the first number, right? And then 16 is the next number. And then 8. So the first number should go here. What if we reverse this? So what if the first number... You see what I'm saying? What if the first number went along all this long track? So I don't have to worry about slowing down this track. What if the first number went through the entire length? And once you get to that, you know, the first number should be 5th. It'll have gone through this whole track. So that's such a better solution. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. We can do that. That's super easy. So all we're going to do is we're going to go in here. And we're going to copy this solution here. Go into here. We're going to do this. Right. Okay. So now all we're going to do is we're going to switch the position of these buttons. Right? I think we can even get away with deleting this. I don't know if this works. So the first number will go all the way through this track. And in theory, it should be the last number to come out of this right side. The second number... Oh, man. So this will switch 1 and 2 really fast, but the problem is 3, 4, and 5. That's the problem. But this is still a better solution. This has to be a better solution. So the first number will come along the shorter path. Sorry, the first number will come along the longer path, and then the second number is going to be forced down, right? So this first number is going to come along and go along the same path again, and it's going to go all the way down to the fifth number. All the way down to the fifth number. See what I'm saying? So the first number will come out the right side here. The second number will come out the bottom. Third number will come out the bottom. Fourth will come out the bottom. So let's go ahead and copy this for a second. Or let me this way. Copy this, just so I don't mess anything up too badly here. So obviously we're going to have these go left first. They're going to go left, and then they'll always reset or default to turning right. I didn't even realize I still had a lock there. Hopefully that's not on these. Or whatever solution I had. Oh, it is. I mean, that might just fix it, actually. Man, I am quite possibly the dumbest man alive. So let's just run that, see if that works. But I'm still going to go with the solution. It definitely got further, but it got stuck on 12. Is that the 5 number one? Yeah. So anyways, got further, but... So the first number should go all the way to the end of the track. The problem is the second, the third, and the fourth number. Second, third, fourth, and fifth, I should say. So we want the first number to take the longest path. The second number should take the second longest path. Okay, so let me hide this for a second. I'll make a new tab of notes. So we'll say we have a path, right? And then... So the first number is going to go, we'll say to the right. The first number is going to go to the right, and then it'll always default to left. Or we'll say the first number goes left, then I have the smallest brain alive. Okay, the first number... Why is my brain not working? The first number has to go all the way through the entire path, right? We'll just use these. The first number has to go through the entire giant mess of nonsense, right? So first number has to go through here, here, go through here, and go through here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we only need 4, right? We don't have to sort between 5 and 6. So 1 will go here. And then what if we do something like this, right? So the first number has to go right, 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 right. And then we have buttons on the left side here that reset it so that it always goes left. The first number has to go all the way to the end here. The second number has to go through 3 of these, right? So 2 will go right, and then 3 will go 4 and 5. You see what I'm saying? So we'll have a pattern like this. These will, the first number will go to the right. These will all default to left. The second number will go all the way to the right. This is complex. I wish I could see my what the record was, because I'm pretty sure I beat this level before. I don't actually know. Obviously my save has been So if you've learned about complexity in computer science, I feel like the system that I have now is too high of a complexity. So, for example, if you had a... Well, I can't think of a good example. But in any case. Oh, so I don't think... I've actually never beat reverse. Ever. Ah. And Race did it in 500 ticks. So basically what I'm saying is, you know, if you have something that how do you say it? Let's ask Google. So Google defines big O notation, right? To describe the performance or complexity of an algorithm relative to the size of its input, denoted by n. So O to the n, or the order of, provides a mathematical upper limit or worst case scenario for an algorithm's performance. So n is our input size, which is a sequence of 5 numbers followed by 0. So I guess you could say 6. So if you have a linear relationship, right? If you double the input size, the time it takes to run will also roughly double. So there's a direct proportional relationship between input size and the number of operations performed. And so if the rate of growth is very complex, right? Like, you know, 2 to the n, right? If n is our input size, which is 6, 2 to the 6th power is a very large number, right? 2 to the 6th power is 64. That's large. Large, you know. If our input size was 10, now it's what, 1024. So the point of what I'm trying to make is, the more you can consider these chips as not these ones. Where's it at? So first off, the more chips we hide inside of other chips, more chips we put inside of other chips, the more complex this is going to be. Not complex in the terms of an algorithm, but the more operations we have, the more loops we have, the more complex it's going to be. So if you look at my solution now, by the time we get to... We're already at 100 ticks. We're already at 200 ticks. And we haven't even hit the reset yet. We get to 300 ticks. 400 ticks. And it breaks at 400 ticks. But we haven't even gotten all the numbers yet. So let's just see how long it takes to get all the numbers here. Oh, did the 0 not come through? I'm confused. Oh, I gotta hit the reset. Duh. Yeah, so we're still missing a whole bunch of inputs, and we're not anywhere close to where we need to be. So basically, we don't want an algorithm that's too complex. That grows too quickly. In other words, might be a better way to say it. So let me just take this. We'll go over here. Go ahead and delete all this. It's down here. So I have a chip here. Oh, oops. I lied. I have a chip here. And I say I want the first number to go up through this long convoluted path. And I want the second number and all subsequent numbers to go down, right? Keeping the same system here. Same system of, you know, the O coming to reset, or the 0 coming to reset it. All that fun stuff. So the first number is going to come along this extended path and do the same thing, right? First number comes along this way, come along this way again. Which one was I in? I guess they're the same. Just get deleted. The first number will come through. This is the third check. This is the fourth check. And then these will be reset. Do need to get ready to leave soon. I go to work. All right, so and then let me see if I can somehow denote this in my notepad here. So the first number will go through all 5 checks, and then we're going to turn off first check. Second number will go through 4 checks, and then turn off second check. And so since the first number has to go through all 5 checks, that'll take the longest. The second number has to go through only 4 of the checks, and so that should take less time. The third number will go through only 3 checks, and then the final number will only go through check. I guess we might need a 5th check then. Because before we didn't need to have a 5th check. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I might not need it. I don't know. I need some food. I need some brain food. I haven't eaten all day. Fasting. For no particular reason. So, There's some health benefits, I guess, if you fast for 14 hours plus. Your body will increase the rate that it destroys damaged cells. Am I even gonna make it to 14 hours? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, last time I ate was 11 o'clock at night, and it's 2:30. I don't even have enough food in my brain to do that math. So 11 to 11 is also obviously 12 hours. So then 11 to 1 would be 14 hours. So I'm already at 15 and a half hours. So theoretically, I could eat. And obviously, I want to eat before work. Otherwise, I'm not going to be very productive member of my job force. So anyways, enough of that. So the first number is going to go through a check, right? So second number goes here. The third number, I basically just need to reverse these. Okay, so I have my notes here. So the first needs to go through all 5 checks. So the first number needs to go through all of these. The second number... Am I stupid? Oh, man. So okay, let me back up and explain again what I was thinking. So the problem is I had the buttons on the other side. And so what ended up happening is the first number only went through 1 check and then immediately got deposited. So I needed to find a way to slow it down. And so I could slow it down a lot, but then I'd have to slow it down even more for the second check, even more for the third. When you get to 5 numbers, it's really, really, really slow artificially. So my plan was to have the first number take the longest, go through all 5 checks, and then the second number is just going to have to go through more checks, I guess. So we're going to have the same system. So there's 2 checks here, right? Just go ahead and delete all this. Okay, I think I've got it. So the first number is going to come along here, along this path, and this path needs to be 5 checks long. Right? And I could be wrong here. It could be 4, but whatever. So that works. And then I need to have a second set of checks. But only for the 4th number. And so I don't need as many checks. I can basically delete one. So we'll go ahead and we'll do something like this. I'm thinking I can delete these maybe at some point. So we'll let that 0 is going to come along here. So first number is going to go through here, go through here, go through here, go through here. And then finally exit out here. Right? I'm struggling. I won't lie, I am struggling. I'm gonna just take a quick look at one of the other puzzles. Maybe I did it in the wrong order. Copy if. If send C to A and then send D to B. We're sending C to A and D to B. If C is -1, instead copy D to A. If D is -1, instead copy C to B. So So C and D are the only inputs, and A and B are the outputs, right? So C and D need to go in A and B, and then you just decide what's going into A and B. And C and D are never 0. Okay. Yeah, that looks way harder. So it looks possible. I feel like I have some potential ideas on how to do that, but yeah. Okay. Let's try something else here. We're gonna do this. And again, I'm thinking very... So, with this system, the first number that passes through will go to the right. All subsequent numbers, until this is reset, all subsequent numbers will go down this path. Okay. Now, I guess we'll have it go out the right here. The first number will go out the right. Second number will go out the bottom. And we're just doing one chip for the sake of my brain. I need to eat. Jesus. Okay. So the first number is going to go out to the right. The second number is going to go down the bottom. And then we need to check. I'm not even going to upload this because I haven't done anything. Hey, this stream is amazing. That's... Thanks for the follow. Yeah, be down to play games. Sounds fun. Alright, sorry, I was not looking at chat at all. So let me back up originally. Let me back up. Let me slow my roll here. So our first number is coming to the left, and then our second number is coming through this system. Right? Our second, third, fourth, and fifth number is coming through this system. Right? Our second number is coming out of here, and then 3, 4, and 5 are coming out somewhere else. And then you just keep going. 3 is coming out here, 4 is coming out here, and then 5 eventually is coming out the last side. Now, what I was thinking was, instead of having one come out first, we have one come out last. And so the last number will come out. And then obviously these are, you know, the 0 inputs terminating the sequence, which then resets the whole system. So, sorry, I'm just kind of thinking out loud here to try and help me understand what I need to do. So our first number, instead of coming out first, needs to come out last. But the problem is, if 1 comes out of all of this, okay, so the point of this is to separate 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? That's why we have this system. If 1 is coming out, or if 2, 3, 4, and 5 are coming out here, we still have to separate 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there's no, like, 1 isn't really doing anything if it's going first through here. We might as well just artificially slow down, which is kind of what we had in the first place. And then in which case, why am I changing the system that I have now? So instead of doing all of this, what if instead we have 1 come through? So what if instead we have 1, we separate 1 using the, here's my tool here. So we separate 1, then lock it. And then we separate 2, and then lock it. And then we separate 3, so separate 1 through 5. And obviously we can't use the 5th number to let them all through, so we have to use the 0. We use 0 to reset the track. The zeros, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out the way to tilt this. We use 0 to reset the track. And then allow the next sequence. Reset track. And unlock the numbers. So yeah, we don't need to slow anything down at all. And we can keep the current system we have, kind of. So let's just go ahead and delete all this. We're going to delete everything that's slowing stuff down. So all we're doing is we're separating these numbers. So the numbers are coming through here, unlocking the next number. That's working. The zero's coming through here and then unlocking the next sequence. That's fine. We just need to separate the numbers, but then we need to find a way to... The issue is we need to find a way to lock it. So, okay, what if we do this, right? What if we lock all 5 numbers? And then we just have the 0 unlock the numbers. Right. And so if we want the 0 to unlock this number first, all we have to do is have the 0 come in from this side. If we want the 0 to unlock this number first, we have the 0 come in from this side. Does that not just work? So, let's take a look here. So let's just do maybe 1 number per track. Well, I'll try copying this. I'll just paste it here for now. And then go ahead and copy this too. Put this over here. This inside here. Okay. So our 0 input's going to come along this track. And this is going to sort the numbers, right? So we want the first number down here. it's going to go out the bottom here. Once it's on the bottom, then we'll worry about how to orient this. So we're going to have all 5 locks here, and then we're going to have 5 of these. And then I need a way to unlock all these buttons. So I guess I do need to figure out a way to do that. So here's what I'm thinking. The problem is I have a lock here. And so I need 2 wires to connect, right? So the input is going to be stored here using a wire, and then it needs to leave using another wire. I also need to have a button to unlock this. So I just need some space is all I'm saying. Just need some space to work with. So, and then I can probably get rid of one of these duplicators by using the 0 on this. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways. So instead of duplicating the 0 to unlock the next sequence, and then deleting it, I can just have the 0 come over here. I mean, not. I don't know. So the 0 is going to come along here, get sent to D, and then also come unlock the inputs. I don't know. Anyways. Really run out of time here. How do I close this window? Yeah, I'm gonna get some food and then head to work. So I guess very uneventful video, uneventful stream. I just need to find a way to have the inputs be locked using these, and then obviously not connected though. So maybe space them out like this. Obviously even further, perhaps. I guess I'll just use chips. So where's my solution here? There's so much nonsense going on over here. This is crazy. So the first number is going to put this over here. The first number is going to get deposited down. Second number 0 is going to come in and reset the system. First number is going to get deposited down. Second number, third, fourth, and fifth are going to come out the right. So first number gets here, this gets switched, and then this should keep that locked. So our first number, we can just lock this way. We can even do something like this. So we'll lock this number. And then maybe have to do something like this. So we want our 0 input to come in. Okay. So this chip contains a chip that will sort one number and then send all other numbers until reset down this path. So the first number will get deposited down here, where it is then locked. It's going to send 2, 3, 4, and 5 out the right. 0 is coming in from the top. 0 will get deleted, but before it gets deleted, it will, and then 0 also comes in from the top here. 0 comes in from the top to reset the system. It also comes over here to unlock the input. Okay. So I'm on the middle save on the left side. So the first number comes in and gets deposited here. And then 2, 3, 4, and 5 get deposited off the right. The 0 can come in from the top to reset the system, and then also come here to unlock the first number. So 2, 3, 4, and 5 should be coming through here. 2 will get deposited here. We'll just delete these. So 2 is going to come in here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2 will get deposited here. 3, 4, and 5 will go here. All right. So 1 goes here, 2 goes here, 3 goes here, 4 goes here, and 5 goes here. And all these numbers will get deposited at the bottom. So this is the first number is going to be all the way on the left here. So we need that number to come out last. And it should in order, right? Because this is closer to D. So if we have the 0 come in from this side, it should unlock this number first. Which again will reset this system. So this is the switcher here. This is the unlock mechanism. So this, in theory, should sort all the numbers 1 to 5. Now we just need a where's our solution here? Again, we can just stick these inside the chip. We need more room. So 0, or all the numbers will come through here. We can delete these now, right? 0 is getting sent to D. We're going to get rid of this. So 0 is getting sent to D. 0 also be input here. So our inputs are yeah, our sequences are coming out the bottom here. And we kind of have some loose ends here, but we won't worry too much about that. Man, this game is tough. I'm struggling. I won't lie. Okay, so our first number is here and is getting deposited out the bottom. So let's have our 0 input come in the right side here. And a 0 is going to come in through the bottom, unlock the system, and then also reset the system. So let's have, ideally, let's have our 0 come from like this, right? So the 0 will go in all these systems, and then the further towards the end of the system, the end of the sequence, the 0 is, the better for unlocking the next set of sequence, or the next sequence. So we want 0 to come in the top here. We also want to send a 0 to the next one. 0 coming from the right here. Oh. 0 is going to come in here. Input's coming out the bottom. Zero will go in here next. Zero will go in here next. And then here. And then finally here. And then this 0 will come out the top. And then unlock the next sequence, and then get deleted. Right, so our first number is coming in the bottom here. Then all the other numbers will go through there. That looks like that works. So our first number is here and locked, perfect. 2, 3, 4, and 5 are coming here. Second number is here, that works. Third number is here. Fourth number is going to come here. Fourth number is going to come here. And then the fifth number should come in this side, in which case we don't need to do any of this really. We just need to unlock it. So our fifth number can just be locked here. And we honestly could just have our 0 come in from, but this is fine. We have the 0 coming in from the top here to unlock this number. We don't need to sort anything because it should just be... Oh, but... Here's the problem. If we have a sequence that doesn't have 5 numbers, let's say our sequence has 3 numbers, this is going to be locked. So if it comes in, it's going to unlock it, right? Now the problem is, if the next sequence has 5 numbers, the fifth number will just get through. Do we even need to lock the fifth number? I don't think we do. Because the 0 is going to come through. And then where are our inputs going? Our inputs are coming out the bottom here. Inputs coming out the bottom here. So the fourth number obviously does need to get sorted. So the fourth number is going to get locked here. The fifth number will instead go up. And go over here. Which we might not even need to have. For example, for the fifth number 2. So the fifth number, we might not even need to have this. Because we can just have the fifth number reset itself too. Because there won't be anything after 5. So the fourth number will come down. And then if the fifth number comes through here, it'll reset back down automatically. What if there's only 4 numbers in the sequence? Then this will be switched. So maybe we need to detect... Oh. Where did I draw that dot? There we go. Maybe we need to detect the presence of a number before resetting the system. I don't know. Like I said, I'm out of time. And my brain's not working, so... I will see you guys in the next video, if you're watching. If anyone's watching the stream, thanks for watching. Yeah, have a great night.